So how can we add more native plants into a garden, right? For a lot of food production, a lot of the plants we grow are not really native. Even some of the ones that may be native to the continent, like this continent of North America, they may not necessarily be native to the region in which I live, which is more in the northeastern area of it. But one cool thing we can do is we can add in native wildflowers, right? We can intercrop them or companion plant them into the situation, and that can help to bring in beneficial pollinators and brighten up the whole area. One such plant that I started growing this year is called the bitter sneezeweed. Alright, so here we have the bitter sneezeweed. This is the flower. And then the leaves are very slender, very lance-shaped. Got spittle bug there too. But you can see these plants have kind of flapped over. They're of course planted in between the two rows of scallions we have. The two rows of scallions, and the sneezeweed is in between that. And so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to build a bit of a support structure to keep the sneezeweed up off the ground. So hopefully those seeds can be produced and I can collect those and grow more of them next year. One important note on this plant is toxic and largely unpalatable to most herbivores. I think sheep are like the only ones who may really actually like go after it, but it can poison them. But other than that, like deer won't really touch it, cattle won't really touch it, you know, rabbits won't really touch it or anything like that. So it's a plant that might have some deterrent qualities. Probably a pretty useful plant to have in a garden in many situations. Also, another important note is also if you keep bees or if you have a neighbor that keeps bees, keep in mind that it can make the honey that's being produced extremely bitter. The plant can. So, you know, definitely use your best judgment with where you plant it and how. But with that in mind, let's see what we can do here. Alright, so here's the finished product. I just put in 2 small garden stakes, one on each end, tied it off with some string to create the rows, to create the support. Here I also made some ties on this level just to kind of separate the 3 plants. I could add another string on the top on that side, and then separate them again. At this point, it's not critical. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video on the bitter sneezeweed. If you can find some seeds for it, it's a really great plant that you can add into a garden. It can help brighten up the landscape, and it can attract some beneficial pollinators. Of course, we have some cautions that come along with it, but with those in mind, we can still plant it responsibly and have it benefit the landscape. So, thank you so much for checking out this video, and I hope to see you in a future video. Take care.